Hello DigiByte community, my name is Renzo Diaz and in this opportunity I want to show you a cool tool that I've been working on. It's an address generator, but it shows the address that it generates in a very singular format. This tool is going to go live in, well, a few hours, a few days maybe, and it's presenting the keys, the private keys, in a way that is more like ebook, where each page of this tool shows a specific amount of private keys, random private keys technically, but you can access them like as what they are. A private key is just a number from a certain range from 1 to a big number. And this explorer, what it does, it just takes from you any number you like, converts it into a private key, and shows you the result. This is, for example, the page 0 or the page 1, where it's showing you the private keys as they are. The number 1 converted into a private key, here you go. Number 2 converted into a private key, here you go. And that's what you have here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and go on, up to number 45. If I go to the last page with this button, I can see the last private key available on the DigiByte, on the DigiByte cryptocurrency, which is this number here, which is a very long number, and this is the address related to it. So you have a private and a public key, so technically you can use this address, load it up with some funds, and spend it. I do not recommend you to do that because these private keys are already exposed, so it's not safe. And I can explore any page of this book I like. For example, I'm right now in this page, in this other page, and you see it generates a lot of private keys, 45 each time. And this number right here in the Explorer bar is the number of page that I'm looking for. The same way as when you open a book or you open an ebook, it's showing you the percentage of the book you have already looked for. This is showing you approximately where in the spectrum of private keys you are right now. So, for example, here I'm in the page 67%, which is this page over here, which is an extremely large number. And if I like, I can go to the first one, and I can start going to the next, to the next, to the next, to the next, and I can keep like this, and on and on and on and on. And this percentage over here is not going to increase anytime soon. I can put any number I like here. For example, let's put this big number. And I'm still at 0%. Let's go up to a bigger number. For example, this one. And I'm still at 0%. So, there are a lot of private keys out there. This tool just generated a bunch of it. In an order, yeah, they're ordered in some way. But what I'm trying to show you here is that the spectrum of private keys, the available private keys, it's huge. So in no lifespan, if you start generating at random private keys, it's not very probable that you're going to find a used one, not even a load one, not even a private key that's whole funds. You're not even going to find a used one, someone that someone has used in the past and whatever. No, that's not going to happen. I can keep going on at and clicking at next, next, how like for years or eons even so, and this number is not going to increase from 0% to 1%. Again, if I click on random, and I start going on and on and on and on, this number is not going to increase in percentage up to 5 decimals, up to 6, up to 11 decimals, up to 16 decimals. This is not going to increase. That's why there's a lot. That's because there are a lot of private keys out there, and the probability to reach one that is used is so low. It's very low. And the thing is that you can look for any private key you like here. But hear me out. For any private key you like, knowing that private key. So if I have an address, I can't look for that private key because I will need to go through all private keys, which we just saw. It's huge. It will take an insanely amount of times. It will take you eons of times. That's not even a human scale to even try to find one that it's already used. So this is just an address generator that just adds the curiosity that treat private keys as what they are, numbers. If you don't believe me, well, here I have some code that I would like to show you. This is just a simple code that takes a number, any number you will like, for example 1, we convert that number into a private key and we just get the results. So I'm going to try this, like this, and oops, wrong command. Okay, that's it. And you'll see here that the number 1, oops, let me be up to here, okay. You'll see that number 1 has been converted into a private key, that private key into a WIF, regular import format, and that to an address, and that's the private key number 1. We can put here any number we like between 1 and this number, and that is going to be a valid private key. In fact, we can put this machine to iterate from 1 to this number, and it's going to start generating keys. It's the same probability as you generate keys at random, and believe me, you're not going to get a used key anytime soon. You know, a key derived from a mnemonic phrase or whatever, because that will take a lot of time. So this tool, from the ones worried out there, is not going to break anything. It's just an address generator that shows the private keys generated to generate the addresses in a cool format. There are a lot of projects like this out there. Just search in the internet for Bitcoin private key directory, and you're gonna get a tool like this. So I thought that it might be cool to have something like this for DigiByte. And well, this is going to go live in a few days probably. I don't know exactly when. I don't have time spent because I want to include some other tools on the Explorer. I know that this is technically not a not just a digested Explorer. It's more like than that now. But just that, I just want to show you this cool tool. I don't recommend you to use any of these addresses because if you're not a developer, you're not going to find a use for this. But if you're a developer, I encourage you to use this tool to try to generate your own private keys if you're if you're learning that process. And this tool will give you a cool way to verify if your results are correct. So I think this is all for the video. Just to show you this tool, and well, see you next time.